Actually, hang on, let me double check one more thing here. Oh, that's what I thought. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Buy ourselves some rapiers and a hammer. 3 chainmails, alright. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Okay. So that's all done. Cure. Oh, Dio. I guess we're getting... Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Oh, Dio's the first spell the White Mage knows now. That's a misclick. Oh well. Nothing too minor, it's fine. Okay, well, the guard didn't block my path, so we're good. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. I definitely do think I can get pretty good time on this attempt. Although, as I say that, I've been doing, what's it called, offline practicing and such like that, that they're having godlike RNG on random encounters for experience, as well as at least one of my 2 red mages going Super Saiyan every single time, so... So I'm just expecting this run to just be totally horrible for RNG. So if things just go down the toilet, I won't be surprised. But we'll adjust what's it called? We'll play it by ear and adjust as we go. Nothing too terribly good along the way for encounters so far. Only a handful of encounters, so probably we'll just grab it here in the shrine. It's slow, but I'd rather take the small incremental EXP rather than having to look for that one EXP that will guarantee me the level 2. Especially if I'm gonna run into like 2 or 3 encounters that'll just add up to the EXP I need. Gigaswarm would have done it by itself, but ran to it second. That's fine. I actually found early on these small incremental levels you XPs you get don't affect the leveling as far as what level you'll be at against certain bosses too much. Just means like you'll probably level up sooner on some things. Okay, so Cal got a strong level up. Dan got a strong level up. Oh, good. Both red mages are off to what's it called? Are off to a good start. All right. I was confused as to why I got the arrow sign, then I forgot my DS spell is on slot 1. Alright, so this is usually a 5 to 6 down round fight. Just gonna hold down my A button. That was a low roll in terms of damage. Usually want to see about 35 to 40 damage per round. Ow. Okay, that kind of made up for it. Okay, that's the kind of hits I want to see. That one's about average. Okay, good. That's 3 rounds so far. I think this is 5.5, 6 rounds on average. Although with rolls like that, this will probably hit closer to 6 rounds. Alright. 3.5, that's about right, yeah. Some of that will be attributed to menuing and such, but yeah, that's alright. That's still well within acceptable for a start. More mashing. Alright, and then talk to this princess. We grab the princess by the shoulders and tell her, give us your loot. Because we are that kind of adventuring party. Alright, and cutscene. It's kind of funny to me that text speed doesn't bring that text box up fast. I mean, it still pops the text quickly when it does bring up the box, but the box comes up really slow in that cutscene. Speaking of, minute and a half break. Start here. I actually still have yet to figure out if it actually does bring that down quicker or not, but it makes me feel better, so we'll just keep doing it. Yeah, now we make our way along here to Provoca. I should actually stop and double check my hit party's HP. Yeah, that's what I thought, because I remember the White Mage took a beating on that one there. And that is exactly why it's a good thing I healed. Lucky first round run against those crazy horses. They're very agile enemies, so running them from them is pretty difficult on average. Double lizard. Ow. Alright. Made our way to Provoca here. The town is under siege by some nasty pirates, so we're going to stare him down in the face while he's going to very politely wait until we heal. Alright, and then we talk to him. Yep. Split up our red mages from the rest of the party, because they can do 2 hits per round. Usually it'll be about a 3-round fight. The warrior can high roll on his damage and take out 1 pirate by himself, but that doesn't decrease the number of rounds. So, still a 3-round fight. And really the White Mage is the only one that's going to take any significant damage in this fight because she's still wearing cloth armor. That's the high roll. Pirate's dead. Alright, now we'll go heal, and then we'll do the 15 puzzle. Okay, that NPC didn't get my way, that NPC didn't get my way. Good NPCs. Alright, and mash. Okay. Wait for 45 seconds because I want the second place prize for a chance for an emergency exit. Okay, oh, actually got it. Wow, okay, lucky. Okay, now we just need to get one more just to get some money. This is awkward. Where do I want this? Okay, yeah, that. No, that can go here. That can go like that. Those are in the right place. Actually, I'll just do that, since I guaranteed the emergency exit. Got the emergency exit already. And I got an elixir off of that too, actually, so I got myself a good chunk of change that I can sell. So sell that for 1,000. I can sell that. Sell that. Let's see, that can go. That can go. Only other really good thing that would have probably dropped on that there is if I got any Hermes shoes, actually. I actually used to sell that, and then I did 1 or 2 practice runs where I with it after consulting some notes from other people doing runs, and I was just like, oh yeah, that saves a bunch of time actually, because that just makes damage so much more consistent. So actually, I would almost prefer having Hermes shoes over emergency exit, but emergency exit is still a very valuable drop. I'm just gonna fight this one out because it'll usually be at least a 2 or 3 round attempt fight, and in which case, if I would have killed them, you know, if it'll take me 30 seconds to kill them, but what's it called? It'll usually take me about at least that many attempts to run, so we're just gonna run through this. I actually should have saved before I got in the boat, actually, because then I could have just soft resetted to scum through this. It's alright. Actually, what I should have done was put the broadsword on the warrior. I keep forgetting to do that. That's the, like, #1 notorious thing I forget to do. It's equip the broadsword to the warrior and then equip the broadsword to the ring mage. We'll go ahead and save now. Yeah, nope. Not sitting through an ambush. Go ahead and save here, just in case. Any other really bad ones were the sharks, but okay, we've made it to the elfland. So we're looking for ogres. Ogres in combination with Gigasworms. I need to reset because I don't have any antidotes or anything to cure that poison, and I need money in the very early game is very tight for purchasing purposes. Yeah. This will be slow, but I'll still take it either way. Still good EXP, it's just because that actually that one extra Gigasworm difference actually just overall makes the fight slower. And then actually too, what would speed this up significantly is if I had access to fire magic, since the Giga Swarms are weak to fire, but I don't get that until significantly later, so... I'd say probably maybe about the 30-40 minute mark is when I pick those up. Actually, maybe closer to 25. But yeah, the Giga Swarms have about 60 HP, and so... between, like, the 3 of them, they should get pretty darn close. Well, not with that kind of roll. Okay, well, the Giga Swarm's still alive, but I just want to get something. So again, I just noticed I need to put the Broadsword on the Warrior. That would have sped this up, so, what's it called, for damage consistently if I actually had the Broadsword equipped. Well, there's the hit I needed the first round. There we go. Okay, well good, the White Mage is on her way. Alright, Dan doing good on his level ups right now. Cal's okay, a little behind, but only one needs that one strong level up more. Ideally, I want the Red Mages to have about over 80 HP going into the Pisca Demon fight. Ooh, this is a very nice encounter. This is what kind of stuff I'm looking for. I'm probably going to lose some minor amount of time over the course of this run in this early game, because I'm going to have to correct for grabbing Cure instead of Dia on the first spell slot. But yes, so this area that I'm farming these encounters in is actually right along the borderline to where I could get ogres and these ogre chiefs, which is only in this next area. If I was where I was previously, I could still run into ogres, but I would have a very low chance. I wouldn't run into ogre chiefs, and so ogre chiefs give much more EXP than money than ogres. And actually, since I got the elixir and that'll be usually enough for my level 6, I think what I'll do now is I'll just farm encounters along the way. I've been kind of practicing that a bit more, is just farming the encounters along the way, since I've had more access to like notes and such what's it called, from the speedrun community. Very appreciative of that. Yeah, 5 will do. Well, just barely enough money. Actually, 5 is usually about the number of tents I usually prefer to grab anyway. I can do it with less, but 5 is what I'm just what I'm used to. And then that. Just mostly just it gives me a little bit more flexibility the more tents I have with where I can take times to heal. Well, Cal's behind on HP, but at least he's got a bunch of NP compared to Dan. And actually both have hit 80, so actually I shouldn't complain too much. That's a bad fight. The wolves are difficult to run from because of their high agility. The yellow wolves are actually what make that kind of tricky. Okay, I'll take this one. Main goal in these kinds of encounters really is you want to just get damage off the board. So usually just try to all in on taking one out if possible. We'll just save scum along the way. Every once in a while we'll take a couple of extra fights. Not running into any encounters this time around though. For that one there. Again, this is what I was talking about. I ran into ogres left and right while I was going through on practice, and now, wow, that's a very, very encounterless walk to Marsh Cave, barring those first couple of ones I had there, so... Ugh. Oh, that's unfortunate. I should reset on an ambush, but I didn't save before I walked into the cave, so that's my own fault. That's fine. Actually, with these high rolls on the strong on the HP growths per level, I probably can. I'll probably be okay for the Pisca Demons doing the thing there. I mean, the Pisca Demons will mess up the mages either way, regardless of how much HP they have. But I'm more comfortable if they have higher HP. So, and the temper spells will make up any damage variance the warrior will deal on that one there. So it should be all right. Should, operative keyword. Alright, we'll go ahead and heal. Oh, not too bad. That 1 HP point will matter. Put Dan in the front and also... that's the second other one I usually forget to give. Alright, looking for 2, got 2. Ow. Yeah, that's why. Usually if the red mages come in here at about 60 HP, which happens in about maybe 90% of the time, oftentimes they're just liable to get one shot on from a Pisca Demon physical attack. The Pisca Demon can still high roll its damage, but it's better the higher HP they have. Yeah, the white mage having at least 100 HP is actually another big one too, because she doesn't have any early armor upgrades, so she just wears the cloth armor. So she, on average, will take between, like, I think like 70 is the lowest I've ever seen her take, but it's like, on average, it's like 90 to 100 damage out of her HP. Okay, so we're fine. As long as, okay, so didn't punch any of the mages, that's good. Alright, and we didn't get the low roll on the damage. I have had it even with the double tempers, the warrior only hits once, and so that's not, and one hit sometimes isn't enough to deal the 80, I think it's like 87 HP needed for the Pisca Demons, I can't recall off the top of my head. Oddly enough, the variations of the base wolf are easier to run from than the actual wolves itself. So any green or red wolves, blue wolves actually, too. Well, blue wolves in some cases. There's an asterisk to that ice wolf one there. Ugh. Ugh, that's bad. I actually should have broken up the warrior, because the warrior can probably take down one by himself, but I need to take out those ghouls, because they have... the ghouls don't go down in one round of combat. I need at least 2 later. That's honestly okay, because I have a backup Phoenix down to revive the white mage anyway, so... because she only needs to hit level 8, and what's it called? Astos gives a ton of EXP, so that's actually somewhat okay. It's not the optimal way I would have done. I would have preferred that to happen, but I can work through it. And it's actually my own fault for not healing her anyway, so... I almost never save in Marsh because usually I don't have like encounters that are like particularly bad here, but I guess that's the flip luck from running into almost no encounters on the way here. Alright, so that was a fairly good section overall. Go ahead and run from this guy. Ow. Oh, this looks like a 2-rounder. Yep. Actually, I'll go ahead and save after that run, just in case, because just in case I get like a particularly bad oh, why'd I reset that? I was gonna say in case I get a bad ambush, and because I had ambush on the brain, I just saw the text box appear, and so I thought it was an ambush, but it was a preemptive, so I could have just got the guaranteed run from that. That's on my own fault. That's fine. Huh. Yeah, this is actually about what I expected, though. Ran into a bunch of ogres, during practice, and now that I'm doing the actual thing, like, no ogres anywhere, but again, everything in balance. At least the red mages are doing good on their level ups. Alright, so I'm gonna put the white mage at the front of the party here, just to kind of draw Astos' attention. Although, I just realized though, not having my Phoenix down, I can't have the white mage die on this one because I'll have no way to revive her, and I do need to have her reach level 8 before we get back. Because she needs to be level 8. Okay, well I technically have 2 trips to do it, so... Okay, well, we'll see what happens here. Red warrior went early. So the reason I put the white mage in the front is because Astos, the first spell in his spell list is death, and so the person in slot 1 has a 50% chance of getting hit, slot 2 25, and then 3 and 4 is about 50 each. Okay, so don't. Okay, it missed, it's fine, that's good. So, alright, so after death it's slower, which we don't want him. We're fine with him, Astos, using as long as it doesn't hit the warrior, because then that will slow down our damage. Okay, that hit Cal, that's fine. Next spell is haste, which doesn't just doubles the amount of hits he does per round. Okay, so should be just one more after this, so yeah, we should be fine here. What's it called? Astos isn't going to do anything that was going to instantly kill any one of my party members, and so the warrior just has to not low roll on his damage. Like, only getting 1 hit in. That'll do it. Very nice. Alright, do I still get the level 8? Okay, very good. I actually will need to check my levels because I'm usually used to going into the Piscademians at level 7 and then coming out of Astos at level 9 for the rest of the party. So now my experience count is all off. Okay, well, we got the level 8, so I might need to farm some encounters along the way back here. And actually, this will do nicely. Actually, you know what? Let's just double temper roll. Yeah, I'm actually fine on the amount of gold I need to do my first round of spell shopping, but I need experience because the red mages need to be... the red mages, to balance the fact that they can cast both red and black and white magic, they require higher spell level, level thresholds overall to learn certain spells. There, that'll do it. So the white mage only needs level 8 to learn her third tier spell, white magic spells, but to learn third tier white or black magic, the red mages need to be at level 9. I should have saved after that ogre fight. Alright, so next HP threshold I'm looking at is maybe let's see, 120, 140 at Vampire, ideally. So about by level 12, which will be our next level grind goal. Alright, so everybody hit level 9 off of that, so that those 2 double ogre fights help the white mage catch up. She'll be a little bit behind for this whole thing here, but this is gonna be slow actually, but I've committed, so Okay, so just need to take out the ogre. Alright, so I'm gonna pop back into Elfheim here. The first thing I'm gonna do is, because I need to make a quick sailing trip. Right, but I want to pick up the Thundara for safety, and then actually noticing my gold total here. Huh. Maybe I should have only bought one Thundara. Okay. Actually, I think I'll be alright. I'll just need to sell the Mithril Hammer. Need to make a trip to sell the Mithril Hammer. If I have enough gold, on the return trip, I can, because I pick up 1500 gold from the Elf Castle, on the return trip, I can actually sometimes just skip selling, or it's not necessarily skip, it's more delay, selling the Mithril Hammer for the 1000 gold. And I can also sell the cottage too if I really need the 1000 gold backup, but because the cottages won't be really used until later, but it's just nice to have, just some. I buy enough, so it's just more a money backup, but yeah, it's just nice to have. So yeah, I'll just need to remember to make that trip for the sell off the Mithril Hammer and such there. This is why it's the whole early game is just tight on money overall. It becomes like what's it called? Irrelevant around the mid game because enemies just start dropping boatloads of EXP. I don't know that this is technically worth it for me to take it, but I'll just take it because it's an easy fight. Because I'll actually make up most of my money on the lumber grind, so if anything I might need to take, yeah, should be alright actually. Alright, so this is Matoya. We got the Crystal Eye earlier from Astos, so we need to return it to her to get our next fetch quest item. Out of there. Make our way back now. Gonna use this Jolt Tonic to get ourselves a Mystic Key. I don't know that I've ever actually run into a lizard up here before. Huh. Oh, the lizard followed us. I guess he wants to be our friend, but sorry, we need to go fast. Alright, make our way back. We're doing very good on encounters in the water. I remember to equip the heavy equipment to my fighter. I probably did, considering how much the damage he was taking. Kind of doing some experimenting here to see if, what's it called, taking that shorter, quick side step to the left is actually a little bit faster than going straight through and then having to make an extra turn input. I didn't time anything out, but I like it just because it means I have to move my thumb less, because then I can just go left and up. Versus having to finagle a little bit more with maneuvering that there. So we picked up the Mystic Key. We're gonna put it to good use by raiding the Elf King's Armory. Alright, then we'll duck into town real quick. Gonna sell off those items because I need to get a little bit more gold before I can... Well, okay. Well, since I'm here, I might as well just sell everything already. Needed less gold than I thought, but because I grabbed some along the way for fights. But yeah, so we need 2,000 gold to get Kira and Diara for our white mage. Okay, Kira first, so we got that taken care of at least. Okay, then we'll go ahead and make our way up to the Northwest Castle. Because we're gonna go pick up, in the Northwest Castle where we fought Astos, there is a locked room that has a couple of chests, and one of them holds the Power Staff, which sells for over 6,000 gold. And that will fund one armor purchase I like to grab for the White Mage, and a silver armlet. Helps, what's it called, just helps with survivability a bit, but also it gives me some gold buffer, just so I have the gold I need to buy items I'll need later. Because actually that 6,000, because I need to save the 4,000, but the extra 2,000 I can use right away in buying some more survivability items, like potions, Phoenix Downs, and such. Okay, now that I actually have the Fire Spell, these Gigaswarm fights actually, these Gigaswarm Ogre formations are, I mean, I think still slow, but I need to actually go time out some of these encounter rounds, but I think if the Warrior goes first, it'll still be okay. Oh, that's fine. You lose time to spell animations, but it's alright. Yeah, so the reason I take all these extra fights is just because it just lowers the amount of time we'll be here at this Western Keep, because actually, in addition to all these treasures I'm going to be picking up, these are guarded by trap tiles, so you step on them, you get an encounter, but they're only directly in front of the chest. So, and you can step on them repeatedly to re-trigger the encounter. So, by, what's it called? We're gonna do this to grind some EXP up until level 12. And I just need level 12 on the Warrior and the 2 Red Mages. The White Mage can be a little bit behind for this early section here, but this is just to give us some sort of, a better chance of surviving against Lich later on. Because I want to see at least 165 on the Red Mages, and they're on good pace for that so far. But oftentimes they're usually like just short or things like that there. So it looks like they're slowing down that little early game pace there, so hopefully they can maybe get one or two level ups, strong level ups. So a strong level up actually adds about 20 more hit points to the HP that a character gains when they level up. Normal HP growth is based on the vitality stat, but in the early game that makes a big difference. For that 20-25 extra hit points makes a big difference long term. Later on not so much, but when you, I would say maybe under the first 200 hit points or so, it makes a big difference. Just reset that one just because it was an ambush. Preemptive Strike is good, actually, because then that means I just get free hits. So actually, I'll use the minimum, what's it called, MP input here. And actually, I do want to see like these larger groups of like 4 to 5 mummies and such like that there, because not only am I grinding EXP off of this, I'm also getting gold. These mummies, if I have 5 of them, it gives me 1,500 gold. So it's about yeah, like 300 each gold per mummy. So more of them means more EXP, which means I level up faster, and then it also means that I also get more gold. And it takes the same amount of resources regardless of if it's 2 to 5 mummies. 3 to 5 I can kind of use just my magics. On 2, I'll sometimes maybe just to conserve MP, break up some physical attacks. But yeah, the larger groups, because it takes the same amount of resources just to take them down, it's actually better to have the larger groups in my opinion, because you'll get to the same endpoints as far as your EXP and your gold totals faster, just by taking more of them out at once. Alright, so that's level 12 on the red members of our party. So we'll make our way out of there. We got ourselves a good chunk of change. And we'll use that to grab a couple of more things there. The AoE level 2 magics are convenient for these wolf packs because one Thundara will usually take out the yellow wolves in one round. The red wolves will usually need 2, but I don't really need the EXP, but it's just something nice to guarantee that I'll get out of the victory, or out of the fight quicker if the other 2 members of the party don't run. I'm still gonna take this on the even though I have the preemptive because it just means I have to farm less encounters to hopefully get to level 15 by the time I get to Lich. I believe the red mages get a guaranteed strong level up at level 16, but the amount of extra encounters you have to take going from 15 to 16 kind of makes it not worth it. Because I've done it before, but it's one of those things where, like, by that point I was already going slow, so I was just might as well just take them because they're there. But yeah, like, if everything if I take like these kinds of encounters that give good EXP all the way through, I'll usually like just even still barely hit level 15 by the time I get to Lich. That's what happens when you try to use a controller with one hand. It's mess up your menus. So yeah, see that right there, the one Thundara took out the yellow wolves, but I need the second Thundara to take out the rest of the red wolves. Alright, so we're gonna duck into Elfheim one more time. We're gonna grab ourselves some supply items. We need to go through the rest of this early part of the game. Okay, we'll sell that. Sell that. Okay, so we need another stack of these. We'll get another stack of that for safety. Gold needles, we'll get 6 of those. Another stack of tents. And we're out of here. Actually, how am I on HP? I'm good for now. Tenting would just get me back my MP, and so that's not nearly as important. I'm gonna make one quick trip back here to Cornelia because I need to get our last questing item to open up this little small world we've been enclosed area rather we've been in is in here, and we're also gonna pick up a armor upgrade for our warrior. So we just run back these guys. These were locked behind the Mystic Key, so we got that iron armor and we got ourselves some nitro powder. Gonna duck back into town really quickly because we'll go ahead and grab some Phoenix Downs in this shop. You might wonder why I didn't grab these in Elfheim, but it's even though they've added things like high potions and Phoenix Downs to the GBA version, and because it's a remake, because those items weren't available in the original NES version, they're not evenly distributed throughout all of the item shops around town. And I need to pick them up here because this next section we're going to go to, for story reason, doesn't have a clinic which is used to revive fallen characters. So if anybody were to die at this particular portion of the game, I would have to sail all the way back to Cornelia as the closest one. And that just wastes time. So those sharks are very difficult to run from, but for the amount of EXP, but they give you a good chunk of EXP for what they give you. For what it is there. Because one enemy, it's about 240 or 250 or so EXP for that, because it's 66 divided amongst to all to each member that's alive. It's all 4 of them. And the sharks are quite agile too, similar to these wolves, so just kill them while we're here. I probably should have reset considering that I just got that encounter like right after saving. It would have been like maybe marginally faster if not the same amount of time. So the thing with soft resetting is that it's just kind of like you're taking the small time loss to deal with the to prevent the big time loss kind of thing there. And so encounters themselves already push 10 seconds even on a preemptive by the time you get control of your characters, and soft resetting takes another 10 seconds, so if you just takes about 10 seconds just to get back into the game after it reloads. So if you're good, so if you save and then you get into encounter immediately after saving, before the encounter even shows up, you might as well just soft reset, because then that'll just it would have taken about the same amount of time, and then you don't have to factor out, you know, extra time lost from not being able to run from an encounter and such there. It's risk versus reward, because sometimes you'll soft reset out of an encounter that might have been good for EXP, or you might have gotten a preemptive on that encounter, but at the same time, it's it's guaranteed time loss either way. So, you know, 10 seconds versus anywhere from maybe 8 seconds to over 12, 15 in a fight. It's just consistent. Alright, so that dwarf has blown a hole in the canal. This place is going to start flooding pretty soon, so we're going to do as any good adventuring party and loot everything that isn't nailed down. Some particularly useful items include the Great Helm and the Worm Killer, which will be some equipment upgrades for our warrior. The Mithril Mail will actually go onto one of our red mages. And this is just kind of how we're just covering our early equipment for, through this early portion of the game here. Yeah, I thought I should have put Dan on hitting the ogre, because the Fyra from the Fyra will more than likely take out the Gigas Worm, so yeah. That's alright. Ace got our back. If my eyes did didn't deceive me. I think Cal was at 145 on that menu there. Let's see. Oh yeah, good. They're actually at the 140s, so that's good. They just need the one strong level up left to get to 160-ish. Fast item shop. I always get confused because I go up, down, up, and I sometimes forget which one I'm on. Okay, so now that we actually have stuff to equip, we'll go into our menu. That's not what I wanted. I want that on you. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put Cal back, even though just because he's slightly ahead. Usually want the Mithril Mail on the higher HP party member anyway, so. But yeah, so they have about 3 what's it called? 3 hits to, or 3 levels to get to the 160 there. So, and they only need the 1 strong level up. If they get more, that's great. I will not complain about that. Even though I got the preemptive, those ghasts are good for, what's it called? Good encounters for EXP. So it's worth taking the time loss for that. All of these extra encounters I'm taking, not only helps put me toward the level 15 I want for Lich. Actually, I should tend down here first. The level 15 I want for Lich, but also if I happen, the more EXP I have coming out of Lich, that's less with everything else that I'm gonna go through after Lich, I'll have a higher level total going into my next level grind session, which will be in the ice caverns. So, I'm gonna run for most of the things in here, except for like these Minotaur troll formations, because this is kind of like the next threshold as what is a good EXP encounter for this party. The ogres are well, still nice. They're not, what's it called? They're starting to become less valuable, and the green ogres, if there's one, I think I can take it. It's still good, but more than that, it takes too many rounds for it to be worth it. For the time you would invest into farming out the encounter. So actually, I can be pretty aggressive about this first trip through. Normally, I have to be a little bit conservative about my MP usage because I normally would have to backtrack out of here after killing the vampire. But since I have the emergency exit, I can just use that to instantly go out of this cave, and that means I don't have to what's it called? I don't have to save nearly as much MP. Like, I'll need, let's see, 15 MP, 30, so maybe like 45 MP on each of the red mages and 36 on the white mage for safety to do the vampire fight, but otherwise I don't really need to save MP for anything, because the vampire fight is usually about a 3-round fight, maybe a little bit less depending on how I high roll it. I can do it in 2 rounds if the warrior high rolls his hit, but usually it'll take 3. Alright, so we're gonna save scum on this floor. It wasn't particularly needed on previous floors, but this one we have some pretty nasty encounters. This is not one of them, but yeah, nasty encounters you can run into. You can run into cockatrices, which can petrify you. Pisca demons, the thing that were guarding the crown early in the game, they're back, but in larger, what's it called? In groups of, I think I can run into 6 of them at once. No, I think it's still 3 to 4, actually 2 to 4, but they're flagged as unrunnable, so what's it called? They're just a time waste. They are weak to Thunder, and I do have Thundara, so I could fight them if I wanted to, but it's faster overall just to reset and run, so that's why I kind of want to save scum on here. That fight actually wouldn't have been bad because the undead in here, what's it called? They can paralyze stun lock you, but you have fire and the Diara spells, so usually it works out alright. Some minor time loss. Oh, this is another nasty one here, because these guys can also stun lock you. But these guys have probably took a few too... the time loss I'm getting right now is probably just due to the amount of encounters I'm taking, but... should be able to make it up later on in the run, because I'm... yeah, definitely usually never level 14 coming into this fight. I'm still usually level 12 at this fight. That's kind of how much extra... I guess that kind of just goes to explain how much extra encounters I've taken. Okay, well, Dan got to the 160. Cal still has one more level, but it's fine. Yeah, this is gonna be slow. That's alright. The vampire should be... what's it called? I'll lose some time on vampire, that's alright. Yeah, so the time gain I got on Astos was because I was hardly running into anything, so now that I'm running to a bunch of stuff going up to this vampire, it's all balancing out. So at level 12 I do about 60 damage. It looks like we're going to be still be in that kind of same range there. Ow! Wasn't expecting that high roll, but okay. Alright, so very important. Grab this first. Alright, and normally we'd have to backtrack our way out of here, but whoop, emergency exit. Alright, we'll go ahead. Heal up Cal. Alright, so Dan got the 165. Cal gets one more level, and what's it called? Even then, the 165 is mostly just so that if Lich high rolls on his Blizzara, the red mages will survive. Lich is AI, I think it's something like he's 75% likely to cast a spell, and the first spell he casts in his spell order is Blizzara, so... yeah, and I think the high roll is like 164, something like that. I think this is the highest I've seen it go. So usually want the 165 or higher. Nice thing about those shadow fights actually is that in older versions of the game, the NES version, they would have had a high chance to ambush you, but to balance it out in the remakes, they flipped it so that I think anything... I want to say... what was it? It was something... Anyway, it was something where it's like, if they had a high chance to ambush you, they switched it so that instead you had a high chance of a preemptive strike instead, to balance it out, so... they're not... undead encounters aren't nearly as threatening as they were in remakes of the game compared to the NES version. Technically don't need to be safe scumming, but I'm kind of running into a lot of encounters here, so... that's gonna be a time waste. Fun fact I learned, actually, because I, in a practice run, I got some an item drop I'd never seen before. I went looking into some of the item drops. Those Hyenodons can drop it's a very minuscule chance, I don't know what the drop rates of the random drops for the enemy monsters are, but it's a very small chance it will actually drop. I think it's a stamina strength plus, and it will actually give whoever you give it to a permanent increase to their strength. But again, it's a very low drop. Like, for comparison, the thing I found earlier was a golden apple, and that was dropped by the Fiend of Fire Marilith. That gives you a grand total of 10 extra hit points on whoever you give it to. And it's maybe like a 1% chance to drop. So, all of the... actually, that's something that is interesting to note, actually, is that the bosses I've fought up to this point, so like Garland, Astos, for example, they can actually drop drop weapons that I can use. Garland can drop a longsword, Astos can drop a mithril sword, and it doesn't really change as far as my buying route is concerned for weapons and such like that there. I'd still get the weapons I get thing there, but it does shift around some things, and it just means that later on, actually, like, you actually end up holding those weapons for a while because the damage increase they do compared to some of the other things you can get, what's it called, just holds over well into the mid-game, actually. But because I end up handing down a lot of my equipment from the warrior to the red mages anyway, it kind of just basically works its way through. So it'll just once I've sufficiently got enough weapons, the red mages will just get them, and then afterwards they'll just drop them to use the other weapons that I've picked up along the way. All right. So again, don't need to be as conservative with my MP usage going through here, because I only have to go through once, but I do still have to go through 5 floors instead of 3. Make our way down. So once again, we're just going to safe scum our way through this floor. Go ahead, take the reset just because I just saved right there, so... yeah, so we don't need a lot of EXP, I think, to get my next level. Just if I can find... oh, these will do, actually. Undead formations are nice just because I can just kill them really easily with AoE magic. Okay, well, don't keep hitting Cow. I only need to save maybe about 40 MP on each of the red mages, because in an ideal world, I want maybe like 4 tempers on the fighter. And so, if for some strange reason, we're in a world where like the red mages go down, if one of them goes down, I at least have enough MP on the remaining white mage, if he can live that long, to get all the tempers I need onto the warrior. Alright, well there's the level 15. And Cal did get that strong level up, so that's very good. Oh wow, we're doing very good for EXP, or rather, HP growths here. It's very good to see. I've had runs where, especially practice runs, where like one red mage was like a good 100 HP behind the other in terms of the HP growth. I like my progress, so I'm just gonna fight this one out. But yeah, it makes a big difference because one thing I'll do later, option later on is to kill off one of the red mages during the later grind session of the thing, just to speed up the EXP growth on the other 3 party members, because one of these red mages is going to end up being sacrificed to Chaos at the very, very end of the game. A lot of everything in this speedrun is just all about setting up the Chaos fight, you know, 2 hours later, when we're like an hour into this run, so... I need to look into whether or not taking these mummy fights is worth it or not. Actually, I know they give a good chunk of gold, but I wonder for EXP wise, 225 times what's it called? 225 per person, so 20 times 4. So it's about 300 XP, I think, per mummy. I think that's okay, but maybe if I'm not doing the mummy grind, it might be too slow. Something to make mental note of. Something to consider. I should probably heal, actually. Actually, you know what? Go ahead, heal Cal. I was either 4 rates or 5 rates, I don't remember. Okay, definitely healing now. Actually, I should use some of these potions. Actually, now that I think about it, I actually probably can afford to just run from a lot of these encounters since I have... Technically speaking, I have the levels I need for Lich already. And I'm gonna make up the EXP, so... later on in grinding, so I probably... like, all this extra EXP I think I'm gaining probably... I mean, it'll save, like, me some amount of time, but it's not, I think, enough that I would necessarily need to go out of my way to take these extra encounters. Again, this is just because I like my progress I've made in my run. I'm just gonna fight this one out instead of soft resetting. I would take these trolls normally if I wasn't already level 15, but since I am level 15 already, I'm just going to try to run from them. I don't technically need the experience, that's why, so... It's so weird to me that I'm pretty sure that the... What's it called? That when the NPCs transition, their transition animation takes 2 hitboxes for some reason. Yeah, so those were cockatrices, and they're unaffectionately referred to as jerkbirds. And that's why I picked up those gold needles. Just on the off chance I do take those fights. Almost to the stairs. Got one more floor to go after this. Alright. Alright, last floor. To the Fiend Room. I'm just gonna run from this. Alright. Alright, so we're at Lich. Go ahead, heal up our party. And once again, we're gonna put the White Mage at the front of the party here because, she's not really gonna contribute much in terms of damage. That's gonna be mostly the Warrior's job. And again, we need to... the second spell Lich casts is Sleep Ra. And we don't want him doing that to our warrior because then our damage just stops. So yeah, she's not going to be really contributing much there. So we're actually in a very good position for this fight. Probably one of the better positions we're going to be in for any other run, just because both of the red mages have over 165 hit points. So what's it called? If Lich does decide to cast the Blizzara, what's it called? They'll still live. Okay, Ace went a little early there, but that's alright. So... that's... Lich has 800 hit points, so that first hit did like 30. So 770 something to go. Alright, we'll call that 260. There's the Bazaar. Alright, he low rolled. That's good. Okay, I can only keep one red mage up, so we're just gonna keep we're gonna try to keep Cal up. So probably about 600, so one more round should do it. think the only way this could have gone better is if we had the Hermes shoes, because that would have just doubled the amount of his run. Oh, wow. Wow, very nice. That was a very nice Lich fight. Yeah, normally he can be a little aggressive and just start hitting red mages left and right there, but... Wow, that's a very nice Lich fight. Alright, so we've gone through our first hurdle. Well, let me get out of here first. That's still very risky to do because you can still get into random encounters. There's no, in the NES version that's all safe squares, but it's not so in the remakes. You can definitely still run into encounters in there. Alright, so we've beaten our first fiend, and now we've kind of, and we're now are also in this big open world that's opened up to us. And so we have a few options left to go, so available to us, but to really take advantage of any of them, we need to go ahead and get ourselves a canoe. So we're gonna make our way south to Crescent Lake here, south and west. Oh wow, the red mages got another strong level up after Lich. Wow, they're doing very, very well, keeping it very close this game. I still might commit to killing off one red mage just to kind of speed things along for the later parts of the game, because the nice thing about temper and what I'll eventually pick up is haste for the red mage, is that as far as their magic is concerned, is that they're non-damaging, so the intelligence stat that they have doesn't matter as far as thing there, because it's just gonna do X to the target in most cases. So like temper will give the warrior, you know, a plus 14 to his attack stat and things like that, and we're just gonna stack those over and over again. Haste will just double the warrior's attacks per round and things like that there. So they don't need necessarily high intelligence stat for the boss fights, and really, like, if I just get like one red mage to a level that he can cast high level offensive magic like Fire Aga Thundara, it's fine. And then actually, because we'll get items that can cast magics later, the white mage, even though she doesn't get any offensive magic, if she can use equipment to cast like Thundara, for example, and that can actually cover us greatly in terms of magic. So the levels, at this point, the levels on the red mages aren't the primary thing I'm concerned about, and now it's just a matter, well, we should focus to the white mage, because, well, first things first, we'll go ahead and get through our story progression here. So we made our way to Crescent Lake, a place that's surrounded by snakes, lobsters, hail gigases, and there's a few Minotaur trolls sprinkled around in there, but we didn't run into those. Go ahead, buy some ethers, get a stack of Phoenix Downs. I think we're good on tents here. We'll go ahead and clean up our inventory a little bit. Yeah. So the reason I don't buy more potions is because we have ethers in this version of the game. We can actually just use our white mage to just cure everybody and replenish our MP. So grabbed a few more defensive items, a mithril shield and some mithril gloves for the warrior, as well as some bucklers for our red mages. Talk to this guy, get ourselves a canoe. This is our second item, second mode of transportation in the overworld, which will allow us to cross rivers. And so now we have a few options open to us. We can either go to the volcano, which is around Crescent Lake, and fight the Fiend of Fire. You can go to the Ice Cavern, grab the item there, which will give you access to the airship, or you can go to the Citadel of Trials, which will do which will progress you towards class change. And you need to do both Ice Cavern and Citadel in order to do class change there, and that's sort of kind of the intended order. It's Volcano, Ice Cavern, and then Citadel. But for the speed run, we actually do that in the reverse order because I'm great at following directions and doing what I'm told for this. So we're actually going to go to the Citadel first, and the reason we can do that is because the encounters in there aren't terrible. We have methods of there's like one bad one in there and one not great. There's like one that's really bad and one that's kind of but as far as dealing with it, it's nothing too terrible, nothing we can't deal with there. And just for routing, it's nice to just go get that out of the way because then we don't have to backtrack to the temple area. And then we'll go to the Ice Cavern after that. And the Ice Cavern will be where we'll do a lot of our grinding to make up our levels for the majority of the run. So we're gonna sail our way east here. And actually, the real test of whether or not all my offline practice had paid off will be coming back here because sailing in this game is kind of difficult if you don't know where you're going, and even if you do know where you're going, it still can be difficult because you have a lot of these screens where it's just, you know, featureless voids of blue. So coming back is actually interesting because when I first learned this game, I took a route that was consistent, but I think it's slower because I end up taking the long path around the reason why it's consistent is because I have plenty of landmarks that I can use to guide my way along there. The shorter route, I actually moved the tent out here. The shorter route, which I've been doing in the last couple of runs, and I think I've almost gotten it down. I can kind of I have to guesstimate the first portion of it, but it's going back the same way I just came. Towards Crescent Lake and then sailing up on there, but you're sailing blind for portions of that one there if you don't line it up correctly. So, and as much as possible, you don't want to bring up the map because it's a nice map, but it takes time. So, alright, these Horn Devils are the kind of fight because they're a little bit difficult to run from, but we got the preemptive strike there, so it works out. And then this teleporter maze is just take the bottom teleporter, so not much of a maze. These Minotaur zombies, it's an unrunnable encounter, so I have to fight it, but we have fire and holy magic to deal with them, so nothing too terrible we can't deal with. One other note about these Horn Devils actually too is that, and why this is going here now isn't nearly as terrible as it was in the compared to like the NES version, for example, is because they only cast fire instead of Fyra, which is what they would have had in the NES version. These Medusas aren't great, but because they can petrify you, but nothing too terrible that I can't run from. Okay. Huh. Well, that's that's what I get for opening my mouth, I guess. That's alright, we still have both needles. Alright, so coming up here is another trap tile. That's not it. Just behind this door. Go ahead, heal up our party. Alright, and then this trap tile is 1 to 2 nightmares, and with two of them I run into like 90% of the time, but with two of them, particularly if I get an ambush, actually this fight in general, because nightmares are very agile, they're very difficult to run from, so in general it's better just to fight it out and take the fight here. Wow, that was a very low damage roll. Yeah. If I got a preemptive, I could just straight up run from the fight. That chest has the healing staff in it, but to grab it I would have to walk over that trap tile again. And because the intelligence stat actually works, the heal staff isn't all that great for healing purposes, because because it's not like the non-magic users can heal just as well as a magic user if they use it. Oh, that explains why I wasn't doing I was taking more damage, just because I didn't equip all that equipment I bought. Oh well, yeah. So picked up the gauntlets. The gauntlets, when used as an item, cast Thundara, so it gives our white mage something to do if she's not healing. And we're coming up on our boss fight here. I should really heal Dan. Wow. Alright, so this is what we came here for. This rat tail. It's nice proof of our courage. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and heal up our party one more time. Because we're going to step on another trap tile here, and this one has 1 to 2 zombie dragons on it. So we got 2 this time. But like most other undead enemies, they are both weak to fire and what's it called? Holy magic. So usually what I'll do is that if there's if there's just one of them, we'll do this combination where we'll have everybody fight, but on 2 we'll have to do some AoE magic. They also had a chance to drop a Mega Elixir there. It's a 1% chance, I believe, but it saves me from having to pick up a backup Elixir later for the Chaos fight, but that's, so it's nice to grab, but it's not anything that you bank on. Oh, I forgot to split. That's alright. That's alright. We made good time there, actually, though. I think we maybe only lost maybe about 10-20 seconds there, so it was alright. Alright, so hopefully I've lined this up correctly. Just kind of inch my way left here, because I'm still looking for the marsh cave. Yeah, and then, so I can use the gauntlets here to have the white mage cast Thundara. It's just... nice and consistent. Okay, so then we line this up, and then we sail our way back east. And if I've done this right, we should still line up with the port that's close to Crescent Lake. Yep, and then we just sail up. Please get out of my way, Mr. Shark. Alright, and then make our way to the ice cave. I'll probably go back and watch the VOD after, what's it called, after this run, and I'll go manually input that segment time for that there, if I can figure it out. If not, it's no big deal. Alright, so we're making our way to the Ice Cavern next, and this will be where we get the bulk of our levels. We'll do this the safe way because I still don't understand the risky way to do it, and this is still relatively new to me. But so the safe way to do this is to just get the target level we're actually looking for is level 31 on the White Mage. And so we're gonna just level her up to there because we want her to be able to buy Hilaga after we beat Kraken, which is the third fiend we're gonna fight. And she needs to be level 33 for that. So we're gonna do some save scumming in here in this Ice Cavern. I actually need to do something real quick. Because I put the Ruby Armlet on the White Mage, she actually has a better defensive absorb rating compared to the other Red Mages, so put her in the party. But yeah, we're gonna do some save scumming because we have some really nasty encounters like that Mummy Cockatrice fight. We can still run into Pisca Demons and Mind Flayers here. These undead aren't terrible, but they are slow, so we'll just take them for the EXP. And even though the Red Mages are close, what's it called? What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably kill off probably Dan in this case. It's not just because he has the low HP. Just to speed up the level grinding, because experience is divided amongst everybody that's still alive within the party. So if you have only 3 party members alive compared to 4, EXP is split 3 ways, and that levels up everybody else faster. And Dan can still make up the EXP along the way. He'll be, in an ideal world, he'll be maybe anywhere from 4 to 6 levels behind, which sounds like a lot, but considering that all he needs to do is just distract Chaos, it's not anything big. Taking these undead fights just because they do give they can contribute toward the EXP that I'll need for the level grind. I actually should have had the warrior hit the specters because the specters actually have more HP than the wraiths. Yeah, so we want the White Mage to be level 41, or rather not 41, excuse me, 31. And then the Red Mages are actually at the level they need to be already, because I just need them to learn Haste and Blizzard, and they need to be level 18 for that, to learn those level 4 magics. Anything beyond this, it's like, I need at least one Red Mage to be level 25, because that will allow them to learn mostly Teleport, which will save us some backtracking for in dungeons, which is very useful to have there. And then, if they make it, if I can get 1 to 28, which is gonna happen because I need to get 1 to 30 anyway, or I can have them learn Thundaga, which will help save time in the Ice Shrine, in the Sea Shrine. Another trap tile here. Nope, not sitting through an ambush. Okay, I probably need to delay a little bit. This trap tile is designed to almost always have 9 enemy encounters and enemy monsters in it, because they like jam-pack the thing, so it's just like spawn 0 to 6 of X, 0 to 4 of Y, 0 to 5 of Z kind of thing, and it's kind of designed to be, or I guess not 0, but yeah, it's like, it's designed in such a way that you'll on average run into at least maybe like 4 to 9 things on this tile. Okay, it's not a ambush at least, which is what is Okay, actually good. Dan has taken some damage already on him. So actually part of what I can do to help ensure that one of the red mages will be killed off over the course of the EXP grind is that I can just not heal them. So taking some damage along the way leading up to the eye grind actually is okay. I think that was all of them, so should be good there. Go ahead and save here. Actually, let me heal before I do that. Yeah, there's some money that I can grab on this floor, but I'll save that for the second leg of the trip because there's some pretty there's Mind Flayers, which I don't remember if I can run into this floor or not, but the other kind of nasty encounters you can run into here are Dark Wizards. Okay, that answers the Mind Flayer question. I believe it's Dark Wizards. You do have a high chance of getting a preemptive strike against Dark Wizards, but Dark Wizards like to cast Firaga. So that's kind of a nasty encounter to run into. The other one is those Mind Flayers, but I can also run into Frost Dragons or White Dragons. And they have I want to say it's like a 6 to 8 second animation AoE attack called Ice Storm, which does a lot of damage to the party. And what's it called? And I can run to I think 2 to 3 of them, or something like that. And they all like to cast it in a row. So if I run into that, I'm probably dead. So generally just gonna reset if I run into that. Doing a little bit of safe scumming here because we can once again run into that Cockatrice Mummy encounter. Okay, gonna grab this chest after this encounter. Oh boy. Yeah, you know what? We'll just go ahead and take the reset. Okay, this chest has some gold in it. This chest has an ice shield. Should be good on our fighter. Go ahead, equip. Pass down the equipment there. Heal up our party. Alright. And then Trap Tile. So this is the eye. 162 hit points. In the NES version, that gaze attack would be an instant kill for anyone under 301 hit points. And so it's significantly... oh, I split it early there. I meant to split on the Lava Stone grab. Okay, that's fine. I'll just need to remember that for the future. But in this version... Anyway, the gaze attack has been significantly nerfed, so the first one just deals damage, the second one paralyzes, third one petrifies, and the fourth one actually is the one that kills you. So, given the fact that that's been nerfed, and we have much better access to healing in this game, and I can save anywhere, this is actually a good spot to grind on, because the other option would actually be doing this in the volcano. There's 2 trap tiles which have fire lizards back to back, and the 2 of them together give maybe like 200 less EXP, so 800 EXP less overall, and another 800 less in terms of gold between the 2 fights. But that would involve me having to go through the class change and then go through a good chunk of the volcano to get to that point, then level up, then heal everybody. And since I'm doing a bunch of stuff in the overworld anyway, what's it called? This is just overall nicer just because of that. The big difference is actually just why this is nicer overall is just because you get 800 more gold and 800 more EXP per level. The gold is what's really important here because we're gonna do a lot of shopping after this. What I might actually do is put Dan in the front of the party just so that the eye is more likely to hit. If the eye does get a turn, he's more likely to hit Dan with his gaze attack, since the frontmost person has the highest chance of being hit. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, So, because of how quickly we can take out the eye, it's very unlikely that he'll wrap around in order to do... oh, this Thundara might do it. Bye, Dan. Alright. Yeah, but it's very unlikely that the eye will get anywhere close to his instant death gaze version, so... This is good, yeah. So we're gonna do this until the White Mage hits level 31. Because, working backwards, we want her to be level 33 to get Healanga, and then we have to still run through the Sea Shrine, the Waterfall, and the Volcano. So we still have to run through 2.5 dungeons effectively to gain EXP. So 31 is enough. So that's the primary reason we're here. Secondary reason, again, is so that the red mages have their levels that they can learn teleport and such on that thing there. And kind of like the third thing to keep in the back of the brain is that we want the red I would like Cal to maybe hit about 220-ish HP, since that will kind of put him within shooting distance, like 320 minimum. That will put him in shooting distance of possibly being at around 400 hit points for Chaos. You can still die at Chaos, but like 350 is about the average hit that Chaos would do with a physical hit, so having 400 just gives us some buffer to kind of make sure that Cal will live. To remember to heal the warrior after this. Yeah, so on average this will be about a 1-round fight, unless the warrior low rolls on his damage. Okay, so Cal's at about 300 so far, and we've still got about 6 levels to go. Almost walked off there. That would have been bad. Very important to save periodically over here, because just in case you like walk off, for example, don't have to backtrack all the way back up, and then whatever time you lost is just however many levels since it was since your last save. Okay, so about 5 more levels to go. I can do math. Go ahead and actually use up the last of our potions here. Oh, actually, maybe I should have healed the White Mage just in case. Yeah, so Thundara is about the worst thing that the eye can do, so, and that only will do about maybe 70 damage or so. 100 if it high rolls. Alright, so we're coming along on our EXP grind here. Yeah, so we're gonna be gaining a level maybe about every 2 or 3 eyes, I want to say. No, but being split only three ways, we'll get about 1,000 XP on each person per level, because I gives, I believe, it's 320, yeah, because it gives the same amount of XP as it does gold, so it's 3225 XP, so divided amongst 3 people, it's about a little over 1,000 XP per person. Versus if it was split between 4 people, it would have been about 860 or so in change, I think. The white mage has 4 more hit points than the warrior, and I find that hilarious. That's I should actually be concerned because that means the warrior is low rolling on his HP growths. Which is funny, but that's funny to me because I believe the warrior as a class has the most amount of guaranteed strong HP level ups. So either the warrior is low rolling or the white mage is doing very well on strong level up growths. Okay, all is right with the world. The warrior's back ahead. Alright, 2 more levels to go, so maybe about 10. What's it called? I'll wager 10 more eyes. Yeah, and this is actually why it's very important to kill off the... If you're gonna do the strategy where you kill off one of your red mages, it's very important that the red mage die off early, which is kind of part of the reason why if I'm going to commit to it, I don't heal off that red mage, because later on, as the warrior starts doing increased damage, it's very unlikely that the eye will get a turn in to deal like a Thundara or a Gaze. So between the one red mage that's still alive and the warrior, very unlikely that the eye will still get a turn. Because actually the red mage, if he high rolls, can actually kill the eye in 1 round. Alright, well Cal's at the 320. Let's maybe see if he can get 1 more strong level up before we go. I lost count of how many eyes. I'm probably over 10. Alright, I think that's that's level 31, so let's get Dan back up. Go ahead and heal up our party. I need to ether the white mage. Don't need to heal ether up all the way, I just need to get everybody high enough that I can will survive the journey out, because I'm gonna tent as soon as I get outside anyway, so... Alright. Yep, so we've got our level grind done. Go ahead and make our way out now. Just gotta get through this encounter first. Alright, Cal did get that strong level up I wanted, actually. I noticed he's at 3. He went from about 320 to 345 there. So that's very good. And Dan actually is level 22, so I can have him learn the teleport instead of Cal. That's good. Alright, so this leg of the this second time around is where I'll go ahead and make that extra detour to go grab that money. Because you might think well, it's like, why are you gonna go grab more money? Didn't you just get a bunch grinding off of the eye? Yes, I do have a sizable chunk of change, but what's it called? About 104,000 of that is already spoken for, so that's already half my money gone. And then I need to spend, oh good god, I didn't even do the math on it. I need to spend a bunch more on spells. So actually grabbing this money is just for a safety buffer. And that last chest is guarded by a trap tile, and it only has, I want to say, either 10 or 100 gold in it. It's some really minuscule amount of gold. I'm very lucky to run by that mine flavor attack. It's a very minuscule amount of gold, and so it's not worth doing the trap tile for. Alright, got one more chest I gotta grab on this floor, and this is gonna be a 10,000 gold chest. Go ahead, just run into this. Oh, Ace is petrified. Down to 2 gold needles. Yep, alright, so we got that chest. Go ahead. Yeah, nope. I need to look up. I need to sit down and actually do EXP calculating totals for this stuff. I need to start committing some of these EXP totals to memory so I can kind of judge when it would be good to take an encounter and when it would be good to flee. Kind of just taking it now because it's a, what's it called, it's an encounter that I can take for EXP at an earlier point. Okay, but we got our levels now, so now we gotta make our way back to our boat, and we're using that level stone we picked up at the ice cave. We'll go pick up our airship. Getting a lot of preemptives on this river, which I'm actually very, very thankful for. I need to remember that safe scumming really is only more useful. Besides the Chaos Shrine, it's actually only useful in the early portions where you're running down through like forests and stuff in Elfheim. Alright, so we make our way down south here. After this encounter. Alright, so we park our boat here. It served us very well, but we're gonna go ahead, go to this desert, and grab our airship. So got about another minute or so in cutscene, so I'm gonna go grab more water. Alright, airship obtained. Alright, so we gotta do a little bit of sailing around here because we got some shopping to do before we go to our next destination here. So make our way to Elfheim here. I used up a bunch of gold needles in comparison to my practice runs, so I'm actually going to restock on those while I'm here. Probably should have checked how I was on antidotes actually, now that I think about it. Alright, so we're gonna grab Haste and Blizzara for our red mages. Okay. And then gonna make our way east here, or west here, line up with the marsh cave, and then we'll go ahead to this little island right here. And this will complete our class change quest. So we'll go through these really, really long hallways. And talk to this dragon. And now that we have class change, we have access to a lot more magics for both our red mages and our white mage. Actually, I guess they're wizards now, but some of the spells that I need to pick up actually are you can't use unless you're promoted. So it's which is why we went out of our way to go ahead get this class change done. You can actually beat the game without the class change. But it would just involve a bit more backtracking because you don't have access to the teleport spell. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead here to the caravan. In the NES version, you actually could land here, but you can't land on anything that isn't a plain tile anymore. So we grab that bottled fairy, grab some Giant's Tonic, and we grab that speed drink, and then we leave. Those Giant Tonic and those speed drinks actually won't come in handy up until the Chaos fight much later in the run, so... Alright, then we'll go ahead and make our way to Melmond. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and grab our Black Magic first. Okay, grab Firaga. And then teleport, we'll put on Dan. Okay, and then we'll grab our white magics, get Healara for our white mage, Dialga, and then I like grabbing this Kiraga for the red mage just for safety. But yeah, so I had 200 and something thousand gold. I'm at 160,000 now. I want to say I spent at least 50k on that, maybe quite possibly more. But one last trip here, we'll go ahead, stop by in what's it called, Crescent Lake. We'll go restock on our ethers. Phoenix Downs are okay. While I'm here. Go ahead, sell off some things we don't need anymore. Speed drinks, okay. Alright, and then we'll go ahead grab Thundaga. This isn't going to be used until the Sea Shrine. But yeah, we'll go ahead and put it on Cal because... no. So you'll notice that I have about 130,000 gold left, and I need 104 of that for equipment later. So that is why I picked up all of that extra money in the Ice Cavern. Alright, so this is the volcano. It's actually a very short dungeon, comparatively. Because as long as you ignore going around picking up the extra items in here, if you step on those lava tiles, you actually don't have a chance for encounter. So you step on as much as you can, get very few encounters. If that Ogre Chief wasn't there, this actually would be an unrunnable encounter and I would be forced to fight it. So very thankful that that Ogre Chief was there. I'm going to fight this one just because this is ambiguous as to whether or not this is an unrunnable encounter or not. Because the unrunnable is 0 to 2 Ogre Mages and 0 to 2, I believe it's Cerberuses is what they're called, or Hellhounds rather. But because of it's that 0 there, unless I see an Ogre Chief with either of those, I can't confirm if it's a runnable or not. So rather than Because there's no indicator on whether or not you can't escape, it's better to just fight it out. Alright, so we've already made it through our way through 3 floors. Here's the 4th. So we got 3 encounters, which is what I want to consider about an average volcano. Alright. So that room right there is actually where the fire lizards I mentioned back in the ice cavern would be. That's the other place you could grind for XP there. Alright, and we're at the Fiend Chamber. Go ahead and heal our party. And second Fiend. Alright. So this is where our party reaches its second form of its boss killing prowess. Because what we're going to do now is we have haste, and then we add this on top of our temper spells. So the haste spell, compared to other Final Fantasies that you may be familiar with, because there's no ATB gauge or anything like that in this, the haste spell just doubles the number of attacks you do per round. So you notice there the warrior did 5 hits there. Now that he has the haste on him, he's going to do 10 attacks per round. And then with the temper spells, his damage is going to go up as the fight goes on. And then the white mage will just be using Healara on our party to heal. So the only one who has any real has to really worry about dying is Dan, because he didn't get as many levels there. But this is usually a 3-round fight with all of the temper stacking and such there. Yep. Alright, so that's 2 fiends down, 2 crystals lit. Now that that second fiend is down, make our way out of here. Alright, and then now we're gonna make our way to the town of Gaia. So, if you recall earlier, when we went to the caravan, we bought ourselves a bottled ferry. This is where that's gonna come into handy, because we're gonna walk into town here and we're gonna get this short little cutscene where the ferry flies out of our bottle. And we will deal with that momentarily, because we'll talk to her at the right before we leave. But first, we need to grab some items here. So we're gonna grab 1 ruby armlet and grab 4 protect rings for our party. This will be a decent chunk of armor for the remainder of our game here. And then we're gonna drop in here real quick. We're gonna buy. We're good on that. We're good on that. We're gonna buy some cottages. All right. Go ahead, equip our party here. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and once again we're gonna sell a bunch of items we don't need anymore. Okay. Now that that's taken care of, we're gonna make our way over here. Talk to this little fairy by the pond. And she will give us our Oxyel. So this is one of the items we need to access the Sea Shrine. Actually, excuse me, it is the item we need to access the Sea Shrine. Because humans can't breathe underwater, and we need something to supply us with air. And then we just leave to this way. Alright. Now we make our way south and east up until we hit this desert again. Alright. So we're gonna make a slight detour before we go to the Sea Shrine here. We're gonna go north here up to the waterfall. At the waterfall, there is one of 2 progression items that we need in order to access our 4th our fourth Fiend dungeon, Sky Fortress. It's actually two parts there because this part will actually allow us to access the Sky Fortress part of it. We'll need a separate item to access the first part of it, which is the Mirage Tower. But part of the, also the reason why we're running here, besides grabbing that progression item, is that in the chests here we have a nice sword, the sword that our warrior will be using for the remainder of the game, as well as a ribbon, which is a very useful piece of headgear for our party. The downside of which is that there's only 3 of them in the base game. So, which is part of the reason why we sacrifice one red mage to chaos. There's just not enough ribbons to go around to guard against the different statuses and against death and the bonus defenses it provides. I believe one of the bonus dungeons that was added into the remakes does have a 4th ribbon, but it would take more time than it would save to go in there and grab it. Especially because I believe portions of the bonus dungeons are randomized. So I don't really need to take too many encounters in here. These clay golems are easy to run against. Those nightmares are just humbug to run from. We can still run into mummy formations like these guys here. We can also run into a mummy. Why am I doing Diara? I need to do Diara. A mummy Pyralisk formation. So Pyralisks are Jerkbird 2.0. And they kill you instead of stunning you, so or rather petrifying you. So they're humbug to deal with. But we're almost our way through, made our way through the dungeon here. Alright, we got another trap tile right behind this door, so we're gonna go ahead and save real quick just in case of an ambush. Ooh, jerkbirds. Jerkbirds and no mummies, wow. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, so that gaze attack, instead of paralyzing you, will just kill you. That's the part that sucks about them. Alright, so we got a little bit of extra EXP for me. So there's the ribbon. Talk to this robot. Get ourselves a warp cube. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, I should unstun my, unpetrify my warrior. Okay, beep, Mr. Robot. Grab that chest just for some backup gold and the Defender Sword, and then now we use the Teleport spell. Teleport spell takes you to the previous floor in a dungeon, and because this is a 1-floor dungeon, it will just take us right out. Save ourselves that 2 minutes of backtracking, and not have to run through any encounters. Got ourselves our first ribbon. We're going to go ahead and put that on, right before we step into Onrock, and go ahead and put that on our white wizard. Alright. Encounter. Okay, so we'll go ahead and equip our party. Give ourselves the Defender Sword, pass down some equipment here, and then Cottage. Alrighty then. Talk to this mermaid. Turns out it was a spooky ghost mermaid. Ooh, spooky. And then we get into this barrel. Very important to interact with the barrel. I have sat there and watched the mermaid go away, and then just kind of stood there for about 10 seconds, or 10 seconds, because I thought getting into the prompt for getting into the barrel came immediately afterward. Turns out it was just because I was mashing my way through it. Alright. So this is also part of the reason why it's kind of routed in such a way to get the white mage to 31 so that she's level 33 by the end of this. It's there are, I want to say, at least 3 enemy monster informations in here that are unrunnable. So you have to fight them regardless anyway, and at least 2 of those give a decent chunk of EXP. This is one of those unrunnable formations there. But all of them with the, well, except for maybe the water elementals, are fairly easy to deal with because we have access to thunder magic and such there. So, taking, on average, you know, you'll run into enough of these that you'll get at least to level 32, a good chunk of the way to 33. If you don't get to exactly to 33, there is a backup trap tile near actually where you would pick up the second ribbon. So it's not the end of the world if she's not 33. But part of the reason why we want 33 is because before we leave is because the white mage can technically still die at Kraken. I have had it happen before where the Kraken just hits the white mage and she just dropped. So rather than chance that she might not live through the Kraken fight, just better to have her level 33 beforehand. Go ahead and take this shark encounter just because this is a good chunk of what the backup encounter is. I actually think I did this the slow way to clear it. Okay, it's a good thing I did the Thundara. Yeah, because the faster way is just to split up the physicals and then use the Thundara to do the rest. Alright, but go ahead, pick up this diamond armor. This will be our upgraded armor upgrade for our warrior, and then we'll go ahead teleport back out to save on some backtracking again. Oopsie. Okay. Go ahead and follow. Path down this way. We got one more floor we gotta go to. Okay. Alright, so this is the floor where the mummies live. We're gonna go, or not mummies, mermaids live. We can pick up that diamond armlet there for our white mage. And then we're gonna make our way around the back here. And then we're gonna pick up one of the 2 progression items we need to access the Mirage Tower. This is the Rosetta Stone. Okay, and then this is where the teleport spell comes in really handy because all we need to do is just teleport and teleport. And we just saved ourselves 2 floors of backtracking. Alright, so now we make our way down to the bottom floor of the Sea Shrine, where we will go ahead and finish off Kraken. We have 2 more things we need to pick up while we're here, but we'll grab those along the way. There we go. That's the way I was supposed to do that last shark fight. I'll go ahead and take the preemptive. Nothing really to grab on this floor, so we'll, for this portion of the run through it, so we'll go ahead and just make our way through it. Alright, go ahead, wrap our way around here. Alright, and then we have 2 items we need to grab on this floor. The first is over here on the west side of the room. This is an unrunnable encounter. So make our way into this room here, take a little bit of a funky walk path, and grab this chest, the Giant's Glove. So this is what completes our boss killing trifecta strategy. And the reason why we take that funky path around the room is because there's a trap tile in front of that chest there. We'll go ahead, grab our second ribbon here, we'll go ahead and give it to Cal. Actually, I don't want that diamond armlet there, I want that here. Alright. And then we'll go ahead, step on this trap tile, and we'll go ahead and make up some EXP for our white mage here. Didn't run into nearly as many unrunnable encounters as I normally do at this dungeon, so... Sometimes I have times where I'll just get Sahagin Princes and Ghost Encounters galore. So you just gotta do this a couple of times. Alright, and there's the level 33, so we'll go ahead and make our way out from here. Should probably heal, actually, pretty soon. Yeah, that'll be good up until we get to Kraken's room. Alright, so we just got a little bit of a trek here to go. This is the final floor. Okay, just gotta duck into this room real quick. This is the third unrunnable formation. This is the water elementals. Earlier we ran into a water elemental and a water naga. That's not an unrunnable, but these water elementals by themselves, what's it called, are unrunnable. Most elemental formations, if they're by themselves, are pretty I think are programmed to be unrunnable. The one exception to that is the air elementals, but I still need to look into that actually, because I believe the air elementals are just very, very agile. I don't think they're unrunnable though. This is not a trap tile, this is just an enemy encounter that decided to pop up right before Kraken. Alright, we'll go ahead and heal up our party again. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and ether up our white mage. Alright, and Kraken time. Okay, so this is where our boss killing strategy reaches its final form. So we'll go ahead, Giant's Gloves, Haste, and Temper. The Giant's Glove casts the spell Savor when used as an item, and just like the Temper spell, it gives the person it's cast on a flat increase to their attack stat, but it also gives them a boost to their agility, so it will also increase the number of hits per round. And that's going to become especially important here because Ace did get inflicted with darkness, so he's not going to be hitting as often as he used to. He's going to miss a few hits because of that darkness status, but still looks like he manages to make it through okay. Darkness isn't as inhibiting as it is in maybe in some other versions of Final Fantasy. Yes, that's why Kraken is such dangerous for his physical hits. It does a lot of damage there. I was actually surprised we still killed him, but then I remembered Kraken only has about, I think, 2,400 hit points. So even though we low rolled there, we did enough damage between the two hits that we were gonna take him out. And we'll actually have a ribbon for Ace by the time we get out of the Sky Fortress. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get Dan back up. Not gonna heal him because we're not gonna run into any encounters of any kind here. So we'll go ahead back into Onrak, and we're gonna go grab Hilaga for our White Mage. This will be the last magic we pick up for the run, and I'm doing this the long way because we can just teleport out of the city. Going on autopilot there. Alright, and then now that we're back outside, we'll go ahead and just cottage. Alright, and we're on our way back. So we've gotten 3 fiends down. Go ahead, complete our next leg of our little fetch quest for progression, so because we picked up the Rosetta Stone while we were in the Sea Shrine. Everyone say hi to the Red 13 clones. Who let this Ice Gigas and these Frost Wolves onto my airship? I do have to fight this one because this is an unrunnable encounter, so... The Winter Wolf's Ice Storm is nowhere near as bad as a Frost Dragon's. Alright, so we gotta make a little bit of a detour here. We're gonna go ahead back to Melmon. Go ahead and talk to one particular NPC here. This guy. Alright. And now just to avoid some NPC RNG, just teleport out. Okay, and now that we understand Lufanian, we can go ahead and grab the second item that we need to access the Sky Fortress, the Chime, which will allow us to access the Mirage Tower, which is where the Sky Fortress is located above. This is another flight optimization I recently, read in some notes and was practicing offline for, which I didn't really think about until I saw it visually, and I was just like, oh yeah, I can just fly backwards, can't I? It's one of those things where it's just like, I knew that path was there, I just didn't stop and think about it, so I was taking a lot of wraparound paths. But that's the closest spot we can park our airship, and we just have to make this long trek down to Lufania. I like that particular stretch of the journey because it's just like take 2 steps to sideways and it's just a straight shot down into down through the forest to Lithania. Nice and simple. Alright, make our way into Lithania here. Okay, this is where we can get... Okay, we got 1 good RNG, we got 2 good RNG. It's nice. Those NPCs can block your path, and if they decide to block your path, they will block your path for quite a while. I remember doing a practice run. That first NPC that we passed, not the one on the bridge, but the one before it, for him, he decided to take bump into a wall, a grand total of I think 5 or 6 times before he finally got out of my way, because he only has one direction he can go. Because he worked his way into a path where he couldn't move up or down. So he had to first go right, and then he had to go right or down after that, and he picked the wrong direction a grand total of like 5 times. So I lost a good chunk of time there. I think I picked Diara instead of Dialga again. That's probably what I did. Oh, great axe. Allosaurus. Okay, very short airship ride. We're just gonna go down and park it right here. And then we make our way to the Mirage Tower. So this is what we needed the chime for, because if we didn't have it, I don't believe this would actually appear in the desert. Alright, and again, this is another one of those, very short if you ignore a lot of the items. So, first floor done. To the second floor. I think I might just kill these guys. Oh, Dan's dead. Here. Ace got poisoned. That's alright, we have antidotes. Okay, we still have 17, we're fine. That's plenty. Alright, Cal got us out of there. Alright, third and final floor of the Mirage Tower. Ooh, jerkbirds. And roasted jerkbirds. Oh, Oh, and they gave us a gold needle. How nice. Alright, so I'm gonna save here because there is a trap tile here. Alright, this is a blue dragon. That was a blue dragon. Alright, and teleport up, and we are in the Sky Fortress. This is what we need the warp cube for. Alright, so this is actually going to be a very short run through because, once again, you don't pick up a lot of the items here. For this portion of the run. For this portion here, there are a few good items, quite a few good items here, actually. This is where our third ribbon is. Got a couple of nice, actually, pieces of armor that cast white and black magic, which is good here. Here are a couple of other very useful equipment here, but the one we're most concerned with is the ribbon here on the second floor. Actually, this is also the dungeon where if you wanted to get the strongest sword for the vanilla game anyway, for the Knights exclusive Excalibur, you would pick up the adamant on the third floor of this dungeon. Yeah, wait, no, wait. No, I'm sorry, this is still the second floor. Yeah, this is still the second floor, but we're not gonna grab it because it's slow. It wouldn't make any significant difference for what we're doing here. Oh, those gold needles I bought just paid off because if I didn't grab them, what's it called, we would have ran out. Because we got 11 from buying and 1 from a random drop. So if I didn't have gold needles, I would have ran out right there. So if we got petrified again, we would have been in trouble. Okay, antidote. Antidote. Alright. So grab this guy here, diamond shield, and our third ribbon. And then we'll go ahead and teleport to the previous floor. My last few runs were, what's it called, I had teleport on Cal because I just killed off Dan almost immediately, so I think I muscle memory to Cal by mistake. I actually should put the diamond shield and the ribbon on Ace because, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that while I remember it. Alright, and then a very short floor here. Okay. And then this is a uniquely programmed floor. This is a humbug encounter. This is not unrunnable, but it's just kind of difficult to run from because of the air elementals. I believe the air elementals have a very high base agility stat. So overall, it's usually just faster just to kill them. And then this floor is a little bit of a Lost Wood style section. Wow, I am getting some really bad luck with this air elemental encounters. Whoopsie. Okay, I think I did that right. Yeah, with all these encounters, it's was getting thrown off with my counting, but thankfully, since I do the staggered alternating one, I can kind of keep track of where I was in that. I'll eventually find it. The reason I healed and saved on here because you can still run into a air quotes super boss on this little bridge called Warmech, or Death Machine is referred to this one, but most famously known as Warmech. Oh man, this is a very bad encounter. Oh, that's unfortunate. Air elementals are the bane of my existence. Alright. Oh wow, I haven't looked at my time in a while. I didn't realize I was making such good pace. Jeez. I lost track of what I was doing. Ethers, that's what I wanted. Okay, and then we'll save real quick. Alright, very much the same strategy as before. We're gonna go ahead and Giant's Glove for Tiamat. Haste and then temper stacking. And then the white mage will just be on Heal duty. Haste and temper. Go ahead, Giant's Glove twice this time for Tiamat, and then we'll go on the offensive afterward. It's good, she's still hitting the warrior, that's fine, he has the most defensive stack on him. Okay, go on the offensive now, and just go ahead, keep stacking tempers on her. Good hit there. I actually don't remember how much HP Tiamat has off the top of my head, but usually this is about either a 4 or a 5 round fight if I low roll. Ooh, Dan barely holding on there after that Thunderbolt. Alright, does Dan live? Yes, he does. Ace Met, being a bro, got the hit in before Tiamat did anything that might have killed Dan. Alright, so that's all 4 of our fiends killed. We're ready to make our way to Chaos. Just gotta get a little bit of cutscene and a little bit of airship travel out of the way. My emulator tapped out for some weird reason. Okay. Actually, we'll go ahead and I'll cottage outside of the Alright, so we'll go ahead and make our way to the stuff now. Okay, there's Matoya's cave. Should line up right perfectly there. Alright, so go ahead. Hi, Gigasworm. You get to live. Go ahead, cottage. Heal up our party. Alright, so we've gotten all 4 crystals lit. Go ahead, dispel the magic down here. Alright, so I'm gonna do a little bit of safe scumming here. There's some really nasty encounters on these first couple of floors. The ones we're avoiding are frost dragons on this floor. These purple worms aren't unrunnable, they just, what's it called? They just give you XP and they take time, and two of them aren't bad. Actually, what I probably should do is put the red mages on the other purple one, because the Thundara will probably buffer out and make up any difference in damage that's needed to take out the worms. Yeah, but they give a decent chunk of, those purple worms give a decent chunk of EXP, and while I don't necessarily need it, it's just nice for the chaos fight, because you just, because I'll probably maybe gain one more level if I get some good encounter luck for worms and such going to chaos. But continue to save scumming here because we're avoiding those guys, green dragons. Unlike frost dragons, they are, what's it called? They are unrunnable, but similar to frost dragons, they also have an AoE attack called poison gas, and those do about 100 damage each to each member of the party. And so if there's a lot of them, like that 4-pack encounter was, I'm not even, like, I was gonna reset regardless just because of one save and then one step afterward. Okay, so we're almost there. Okay, save before this guy. And Phantom. So Phantom is a reskin of the Eye, but he's weak to fire magic. So between Fyras and Warriors, we should be able to get him. Stop would only hit Dan, because he's the only one without a ribbon. That's a low roll. Oh, we still got him. That works. Okay, I'm gonna save here because I have a really, really bad luck with running into gas dragons after I got that. After I fought Phantom, and then had to refight Phantom all over again trying to grab this chest. This is that backup elixir I mentioned way back at the Citadel of Trials, where if I didn't get it from the zombie dragon drops. So it's just nice that it's just a guarantee right there. Alright, and then we play a little lovely tune on our loot. Okay, and make our way down. Alright, so a little bit more safe scumming to do because now we're basically running through those same floors in reverse. This is actually runnable because of that Vampire Lord. So I can still run into zombie dragons here, which means I do still have a chance for that Mega Elixir drop, but since I have the Elixir already, it wouldn't be necessarily be useful. Because I only need one. Zombie dragons. All right. Yeah, not gonna sit through that. That formation of monsters is already difficult to run from, and sitting through an ambush would just take even longer. I'm not even going to look at that one just because of how short it was since my last save. Okay, last floor I need to do where safe scumming is mandatory. Yep, nope. Not sitting through a Frost Dragon ambush. Just gotta make it through this last one floor. Almost there. Come on, you can do it. Yep, not sitting through that. Nope. We had pretty good encounter luck through the first couple of these floors, so actually I'm not too terribly. Like, we got average, what's it called, after Phantom, but it was pretty good going leading up to it. I didn't have to save too much. I've had runs in practice where I was like, I had to reset, I think like maybe like 10 times before I got to Phantom. So, alright. Worst of the save scumming is over. So we're on to the elemental floors now. This is the floor of Earth. That was a very good stretch of no encounters. I'll go ahead and save just because that was kind of an encounter. Alright, so one more. Okay, go ahead, heal up our party. Go ahead, ether up our white mage. That's not what I wanted to do. Save and Lich refight. Alright, so Lich this time around, his first spell is... it's not Blizzara, it's Flare. Still has, but same still principle and strategy as before. Okay, there's the Flare. Does Dan live? Oh wow, Dan lives. And actually the Flare came out first, so that's good. Actually the Healar will hit the Healaga will hit the entire party. Okay, so we'll go ahead, double Giant's Glove, and then Temper again. Magic heal, Temper. Alright, and now we go on the offensive. Ooh, that was a good number of hits. Alright, she got one more round to go after this. I believe we're maxed out, so we'll just go ahead and have the thing. Okay, Ace takes care of it. Alright. Very important. Alright. Didn't step on this on the trap tile again. Very important. Alright. So this is the Fiend of Fire. Floor of Fire. Where we're going to fight the Fiend of Fire. Just gotta make our way through. Okay. Go ahead, heal up our party one more time. Okay. Oop. Okay, ether. And Marilith refight. Nice. Oh, whoopsie daisy, that's bad. That's alright. I got a buff anyway, so... mashing a little bit too fast. Oh, that's unfortunate that they came after the Kiraga. Wow, did it again. Oh, bye, Cal. That's alright. If the red mages go down, it's not too critical. I mean, it's unfortunate because I don't have temper stacks, but I should be okay if I just go on the offensive now. It'll just probably maybe take me like a round or two longer since I don't have any temper stacked. Ideally, I would have like 3 right now, but mashing too quickly. Oh, that's bad. That's, yeah, you know what, we're gonna Giant's Glove one more time just to make up for the lack of tempers. Wow, I didn't think that would make that much of a difference. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, that's 2 tempers and 3 Giant's Gloves. Let's see how much difference that makes. Okay, that's much more closer to the damage I wanted to see. Okay, so a little bit of time lost there, but that's alright. We worked our way through it. Alright. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Okay, we'll go ahead and get Cal back up. So this is the floor of water now. Only real bad encounter is the water elementals because those are unrunnable, but otherwise nothing too particularly nasty on this floor. I actually might want to save scum this floor just because what's it called? This floor is notorious for giving me a lot of water elemental encounters, so this is a little because of how agile all of these creatures are. I'm gonna go ahead and fight this one out. Alright, will Cal or Bell go first? Alright, that's what I kind of wanted to see, actually, because this is more likely to take all of them out. Oh, very nicely done. Alrighty. Oh boy. Well, it's not water elementals, so I guess I can't complain. I'll take almost anything over water elementals, because this is just humbug to run from, but at least I can run from it if I want to. Come on, Ace, you can do it. Nope. Gotta sit through the longer animation, that's fine. Okay. Alright, so... one more, okay. I have ran straight past that and into the fight before, so that's something I want to be careful of. Okay, go ahead. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Alright, Kraken 2. No, that's not what I want. That. That. Okay. We'll do the 2 giant skulls again. Ink is fine. Ink will only hit Dan. So that's 2 tempers, 1 haste, 2 giant's gloves. Should be plenty to go on the offensive now. Okay, 3 tempers. 4 tempers. Should get a good damage roll here. Come on, Ace, do me proud. Nicely done. Alright, let's get one more of those in. Thundara is fine. Thundara's not gonna kill anyone. Very nicely done. Alright, one more floor to go. This is the floor of air. This is actually a very short floor if you ignore the item, because you can pick up the Masamune, which is the strongest katana in the game. But it's a bit out of the way to go grab. Reason why I'm running here, even though normally the vampire would be unrunnable, is I believe the vampire lore does make this a runnable encounter. Okay. Always gotta be careful with that inching. Okay. Alright, and Tiamat 4. Giant's glove, haste, temper. Thunderbolt might kill Dan. Made it through alright. Galaga should patch him back right up. I'll go ahead and... Oh, that's not what I want to do. Temper, there we go. I normally do 2 giant skulls. I might do 3 just because... actually... I think it works out either way if I do 2 or 3. Okay, wait. Okay, 2 tempers, 2 giant gloves. I think it works out to a 4-round fight either way. Okay, that will kind of help, kind of guarantee that it'll be a 4-round. Poison gas, that's the green dragon ability. Okay, 1650 is fine. Yeah, that's 4 tempers. Ice Storm, that's the frost dragon ability. Alright, one more round should do it. There we go. Nice. Ace got the good turn order there, that's good. Alright. Alright, made it through, no encounters. Alright, so we're at Chaos now. Final boss time. Okay, go ahead, heal our party. Did I really? Wow, I really healed to full through all of that. Wow, that's very good luck for me. Okay, I'll go ahead and re-ether up our cow. Alright, Dan. Put you at the front of the party. Alright. My items were pretty clean this time around, so... Oh, I'm gonna have to go digging for the elixir though. That's alright. The rest of my items are pretty clean this time around for the Giant's Tonic, so I won't put him at the top of the things like I normally do. Alright, Chaos time. Okay. We're gonna head to start off Giant's Tonicking our party. We're gonna have Dan Giant's Tonic Ace and have Ace Giant Tonic Bell because Ace needs it the least since he's most likely to survive a single hit, but you know, if he just outright kills any mage that isn't Dan right away, we're gonna have problems. Come on, Gas. Come on, Chaos, be a pal. Okay. Got on the white mage, that's probably the first most important one. Blaze is a skill. So Chaos can either do physical hits, skills, or spells. We want him to either do physical hits or skills. Oh, bye Dan. Because he can do, because if he goes down his spell line, the fourth spell in his list casts, Kiraja, excuse me, not Kiraja, which will heal him for 10,000, basically 10,000 hit points. It's 9,999, the cap. So damage racing him to kind of that, but if he gets past that point, then it's a real race to the finish because his 8th spell is I believe it's Flare. So, and that will almost certainly deal a boatload of damage to the party. So we don't want him to get there. So we got to do a bunch of setup, and we got 20,000 hit points we got to work through. So we're gonna set up our Giant's Gloves. We're gonna do 4 Giant's Gloves. That's 2 so far. Okay, we got the haste off. Okay, Temper, Giant's Glove. Cyclone is another skill. Okay, so he's done 3 skills so far. So his next skill isn't gonna do anything because Earthquake doesn't deal damage. It just it's an instant kill move, but everybody's wearing ribbons and protect rings, which guard against instant death. So both of those will be fine. Okay, that's 4, I believe. Okay, so that's 2 Tempers I've gotten so far. Alright, time to go on the offensive. Alright, that'll allow us the white mage to catch corner healing. Once we start doing about 2,300 damage, I'll have Cal start swinging to speed drinks. So speed drinks will give a flat increase to the Ace's accuracy stat or agility stat, which will increase the number of hits he does per rep. So this one next temper should do it. Yeah, alright. So these speed drinks aren't gonna look like they're gonna be doing much, but they oh, that's not what I wanted to do. No wonder that seems so off. That was so weird to me. But slowly but surely, we're gonna start gaining, as we start stacking these speed drinks on, Ace will start dealing a lot more damage exponentially per round. So, oh god, I haven't been tracking damage. Okay, wait, 25, 22, 19, 24, 46 plus 25 is 74 plus 19 is 83. Okay, so 8,300 question mark. Tsunami is a skill, that's fine. 10,000... No, wait, 83 plus 29. 11,100. Okay, that should be... That's his first spell he's cast so far, so... We've got good progress so far because he's only one spell in. Okay, I need to have you do... Oh, no, not on. That would have been bad. That would have killed the run right there. I think this next hit should do it, actually. Okay, one more round. He's one hit off and he's 3 spells off of his Kiraja. We've won. We've won this fight. It doesn't matter what he does now. Time. Whew. Oh my goodness, that was... Oh my god, incredible. That is an incredible time. Wow. Man, probably what's it called? Rip sub 3 hours because of just encounter luck in Chaos Shrine, but wow, this was a really good run overall. Like, I think where I picked up all that time actually was just farming those encounters, going leading up to Vampire. That's where I really just saved all that there. Like Garland was average, Pirates was average. Astos, you can kind of attribute that to the fact that I didn't really run into any encounters going to Marsh Cave and such like that there, and then after beating Astos, Vampire was kind of where I just ran into my encounter pocket there. But all of that EXP that I got there, plus the emergency exit, got me to Lich at, wow, just over an hour and 10 minutes. Zombie Dragons, I want to say I lost maybe 20 seconds or so there. But I mean still, so that would have put me... What's it called? Still, yeah, 20 seconds on the zombie, but yeah, like... Yeah, and gained 2 minutes back because I committed to killing off Dan there, and then... Yeah, holy cow. That early game right there is what carried all of that there, because average encounters on the thing there. I actually think that, no, Sea Shrine I think was about average, because even though I ran into less encounters, I had to do more to make up the EXP at the ribbon. Sky Fortress was okay. Going to Phantom was phenomenal because of how few encounters I had leading up to it. But yeah, I think save scumming plus just no, what did I screw up? No, one of the fiends curing instead of tempering. I think that lost me like a good minute or two there. But wow, this is really good that was a really good run. This is gonna be very tough to beat overall.